So ESPN recently gave out grades for every team in the NBA to see how their offseason went. And boy, oh boy, the Pelicans rating, their grade, oh, it's going to surprise you, ladies and gentlemen. So furthermost, just cue my music!
This is the Pelican Scoop with Jordan Kitchens, breaking down everything under the sun about your New Orleans Pelicans. Smash that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to stay on top of your Pels content. Now, running point, here's Jordan.
What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another edition of the Pelican Scoop. I am your host with the most, Jordan Kitchens, and ladies and gentlemen, oh boy. I don't want to get too sappy. I don't want to waste too much of your time because the most important thing you can give somebody is their time. And I just want to say we did it, guys. We are at 2,000 subs. 2,000. Yeah, clap it up. Clap it up for yourself. Yes, clap it up. Thank you. Just drop a like right now. Just drop a like, drop a like, whatever. But no, man, I don't want to get too sappy. Like I said, I don't want to take too much of your time because time is so important. And the fact that you guys gave me your time, especially the people that have been here from the jump last August. So, it's been so much growth in a year coming up next month. And from the bottom of my heart, man, I appreciate every single one of y'all. Really do, man, because like I said, there's so many people that can do this. So many people that you can sit there and give your time to watch and analyze. So many people that talk about everything under the sun, but y'all want to see what I got to talk about and want to grow with the community. And just like I said, I appreciate that, man, because, I always want to be great at this. So I watch back on my old videos and stuff. I see the people that have been here from the jump that, still commenting from last year, just seeing how it was from last August until what's coming up on, year two. I was trash. Call it what it is. I was trash. It was a very hard watch. I'm just saying I still be yapping, but, y'all done grown with me. Y'all stuck with me. Y'all want me to, see me do the best, all the good, the bad, through the ugly. And I appreciate it, even though the Pelicans ain't giving us much to be appreciative about. But today, we got to get on some ass. Yes, I'm cursing. We got to get on some ass today, ladies and gentlemen. Today's Gap, or whatever you want to call it, is sponsored by Kevin Pelton from ESPN. I ain't going to say sponsored because he ain't give me no goddamn money. But he gave out some offseason grades for every team in the NBA. Rating how they did through the draft, and, offseason pickups and acquisitions and whatnot. Moves you made or lack of moves. He gave out these grades. And I severely, and I'm not even going to be a homer, yes? This is the Pelicans page. Yes, this is the Pelicans guy. But damn it, there's just no way. There's just no way, and we got to talk about it. So as you can see from the screenshot on the screen, he has the New Orleans Pelicans. Grade F. Not a D. Not a C. I'm not even going to say it was B or A. Not a C minus, C plus. No, it's like C plus, B plus, all that. No, not even those. You get an F. You failed. You failed. From Kevin. This is what Kevin. So all hail Kevin. Kevin has the magic pen. Whatever Kevin says goes, apparently. So this is what Kevin had to say. And this is what got brought to my attention yesterday. Got passed to my desk about what Kevin had to say. So this is what Kevin had to say. The Hawks Pelicans draft night swap was seemingly the most lopsided transaction of the summer. It could pay off for New Orleans, but it was far too risky to be sensible. Now, Kevin, I'm not going to sit here and say it's not risky. You gave up a pick next year. Well, unprotected. Crazy as hell. Yes. Or I'm not going to sit here and just be like, oh, hell no, man. Dumars did that. Dumars ain't do that, man. Dumars. No. Joe, Cool Joe, Polo Joe, he definitely stepped out his body. I don't know if Joe was drinking or whatnot, but he already said going into the draft, I get it. It's too risky to be sensible, but I'll be honest, man. The man told you what he was going to do. He said, look, I like Derek Queen. I like Fears. It got to the point where we can kind of get both of them. I feel like Queen is going to be better than whoever the Pelicans going to get next year. All chips on the table. That's what Joe did. The man told you he was going to be aggressive. He said he was going to make some moves. So, I mean, look, I would understand if Joe didn't say these things and he did these things, but he's a man of his word. Living with David Griffin, you live with somebody that wasn't a man of their word. But I get it. Either you love it or you hate it. But apparently, Kevin hates this. So let's keep going. Particularly in the context of the Pelicans' other moves. New Orleans is betting on Jordan Poole being a playoff caliber starting guard, point guard. It has overloaded its depth at the center by drafting Derek Queen and signing veteran Kevon Looney. I'm just on Kevin. I'm trying to just grill Kevin. Well, Kevin, The Pelicans needed big men because if you watch the team last year, they got dominated on the boards on a nightly basis. You had Yves Missi as a rookie and Daniel Tice. You want to tell me what Daniel Tice is doing right now, Kevin? Take a guess. He's in Europe. The second the Pelicans traded him to OKC, that man had a cup of coffee. He might have took a dump in the bathroom, didn't wipe, just got up and just flushed. He's one of those people that don't wipe. Grabbed a plane ticket and got deported out the country. That was the Pelicans' starting center last year. So yes, they had to overlord the front court because they had no front court. You needed another center to go along. Not Derek Queen. Is he going to be a center? Is he going to be a forward? Whatever. He's still front court help. Kevon Looney, a winning veteran who's going to be able to play defense, rebounding a skill that the Pelicans desperately lacked last year as they got dominated on the boards consistently night in and night out, Kevin. That's all I got to say. So let's keep going. Just 3 teams have a longer odds of winning the Western Conference at ESPN Bet, and the Pelicans traded away their safety net now that they are no longer in control of their 2026 first-round pick. Okay, Kevin. It's good, bad, but Kevin, on the other hand, I just don't understand how that it's an F for making moves, trying to improve the team. Nobody thought going into the year the Pelicans were going to be NBA champions in 2026. So to say that the odds or whatever, to say the safety net, honestly, bro, I respect Joe Dumars for putting a little bit of fire on people's asses. Yes, we are cursing today. I have 2,000 subs. I'm going to curse today. I respect Joe Dumars for putting fire on people's asses. He let Zion know. He let everybody know that's in this organization, we're trying to win next year. Now, no, nobody thinks the Pelicans are going to make a playoff, not a playoff push, a finals run. Like, oh my God, dude, the Pelicans got to make the playoffs first. The Pelicans got to win a first round matchup first before we can start thinking about winning the championship and odds of that nature. That's not the goal. The goal is to make the playoffs and build upon that. At this point in time with the team, there's no point to keep trying, let's keep going younger. No. Either Zion's going to be what he is this year, or you ship Zion out and recoup those picks that you keep desperately, you're going to get those picks back if they get rid of Zion next year. Simple as that. Simple as that, Kevin. But that's an F. But we're going to keep going. Let me show you other examples of other teams that Kevin gave better grades to compared to the Pelicans. So let's start it off with the Sacramento Kings. Okay, the team that at this point, they're still looking for a starting point guard after having De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. And now that they're the part 2 of the Chicago Bulls era that wasn't winning anything with Zach LaVine and DeMar DeRozan. But they get a D+. Pelicans get an F for trying to improve the roster. You're going to see teams that didn't really try to do anything, and they just get better grades, right? So this is what he says about the Sacramento Kings, D+. I get it. A D+ or an F, but damn, they passed. I mean, well, if you're in college, we don't need to dive into, getting grades in college and all that, but a curious offseason didn't seem to move the Kings closer to a playoff return. Prioritizing point guards than trading De'Aaron Fox in February was reasonable, but Sacramento gave Dennis Schroeder a 3-year, $45 million deal that might not age well given Schroeder's reliance on quickness. The deal forced the Kings to swap Jonas Valanciunas for Dario Saric, who barely played last season, to stay out of the luxury tax. A point guard on a cheaper deal such as Trey Jones or letting Valanciunas leave for a reported offer from Greek power Olympiacos and getting out of his deal altogether. There was not one positive thing that the Kings did this offseason, but somehow, someway, that's a D+. I guess because, they got their 2026 pick. Yeah, just because they kept their draft pick. They didn't improve the roster for next year to at least give it a chance to try and, make a playoff push or whatnot. They get a D+. And I get it. We're comparing a D+ to an F. But damn, we the only F. By the way, the Pelicans had the only F. I should have prefaced that a lot earlier in the video. Pelicans had the only F. That's why I'm really getting at this. I should have said that anyway. Now we have the Golden State Warriors. Look at their grade. Incomplete. Hold on. Kevin. Come on, Kevin. Reason with me right now, Kevin. Don't do this to me, Kevin. What are you talking about, Kevin? How the hell did they get an incomplete? Read what this man just said. Having merely added a pair of picks in the 50s, Will Richard and Alex Tui, The Warriors are impossible to evaluate until they figure out the status of restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. If Golden State indeed signs veteran center Al Horford and brings back guard Anthony Melton, as ESPN's Anthony Slater reported is possible, that would be a solid summer to build on last season's strong finish after the Jimmy Butler trade. For now, all of that remains on hold. So because they're stuck in limbo, and they still have an aging Curry, still have an aging Draymond. I know Steph Curry's still one of the greatest players of all time, but you got old Jimmy Butler, old Curry, and Draymond. You didn't really add nothing else. They're playing phone tag with Jonathan Kuminga, who's not even good. And there's so many Pelican fans wanted Kuminga so bad. I'm just like, bro, do y'all watch Kuminga? Like, you know what I'm saying? They get it incomplete, though. The Warriors get it incomplete, but watch this, guys. They get it incomplete, but watch. Let the Warriors be underachieving by the time December, January. They're going to be like, oh, man, the Warriors got to make a move. The Warriors should have made a trade. Why they didn't do all this? They do it every year, bro. If the Warriors underachieve, or like the Lakers or whatnot, it's always, oh, they got to find a way to make some big splash and all this and do this and that. Why they didn't do it over the offseason? Why they don't get an F for that? But they get it incomplete. It's like, oh, y'all got Steph Curry, so it's like, y'all be okay. Their season relies on Jonathan Kuminga right now. They're putting their backs on Jonathan Kuminga because we saw with Curry and Jimmy, like, they need more. That's not enough. That's not enough to get you to the Western Conference. But they get it incomplete. But the Pelicans get an F for improving the roster. Going out and trying to improve the roster, you get an F. You get an F. But don't do anything, it's an incomplete. Jonathan Kuminga. This man nickname is the Cum Bucket. The Cum Bucket's going to save you. Bro, get out of here, Kevin. Get out of here. This is why I'd be like, you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. You're damned if you try to improve, you're damned if you don't. It's like, they get it incomplete. He didn't even give him a grade. Let's keep going. It's the last team before I get up out of here, man, because I'm about to stick my foot up somebody's you-know-what. Oh, I can say ass. They're ass. All right, the Brooklyn Nets, they get a C- right now. Gun to your head right now. What did the Brooklyn Nets do this offseason that improved their roster? Yeah, they got 4 first-round picks. That's still a wild crapshoot. Cause they traded Cam Johnson for MPJ. These are the moves. Let's read what Kevin has to say about the Brooklyn Nets. They get a C-, by the way. Given the Nets' commanding position as the only team with more than $30 million in cap space this summer, their return has been underwhelming. Underwhelming return. You had $30 million. And they only get a C-. Okay, let's keep going. Brooklyn did net a 2032 unprotected first-round pick from Denver, and when they could hope to rehabilitate Michael Porter Jr.'s value. The Nets also landed the number 22 pick with Terrence Mann prior to the draft, but keeping all 5 first-round picks and using them largely on those players whose games don't seem complementary was confusing. Brooklyn still can create $20+ million in cap space, and we'll see whether additional deals materialize before training camp. They get a C-. So basically what the Nets did, they went and made a sandwich, put mayonnaise on it and cheese, no meat, and ate it, and they get a C-. They had all this money, and this is what they did, was get Terrence Mann and Michael Porter Jr. and a 2032. Yes, I said that correctly. A 2032. That kid might be what? In the 6th grade right now? A 6th grader? That's what we talking about? A 6th grader? And they get a C- for that. Let's call it what it is, man. It's bias against the Pelicans. I don't care. Kevin, you might be a good reporter or whatever, Kevin, but we're going to revisit this, Kevin. We're going to revisit this. Oh, trust me, Kevin. We're going to revisit this. The Pelicans do well this season, Kevin. If they do well this season, Kevin, you can hear from me, Kevin. I ain't going to let this slide, Kevin. F? And you just gave 3 other examples of teams having worse off seasons, but just because the Nets get a 2032 first-round pick, a 5th, 6th grader right now at the point. I don't know which year, 6th, 7th grader. Some kid born in like 2012 because they got a kid that's born in 2012 coming up down the pipeline. They get a better offseason than the Pelicans. Now I get it. I'm not sitting there saying the Pelicans had an A, B offseason, but to say an F, the only team in the league to get an F, and the Warriors get an incomplete, just blows my mind. So y'all let me know how y'all feel down in the comments because I feel very strongly about it, but it's not about me. We're at 2,000 subs. I'm feeling good. I don't want to do too much, right? It's a good day. It's a celebratory video. So, but y'all get down in the comments, man. Y'all just let me know. Y'all let me know, man. I've been your host, the most Jordan Kitchens, man. Like I said, man, from the bottom of my heart, man, thank y'all. Let's keep going. It's only up from here. Let's keep building. All right, season, couple months away. Let's keep going, man. It's going to be only up from here. And we're going to just keep growing and just, I don't know, bro. I don't know. Sky's the limit at this point. I don't know. I'm at 2007. I mean, sky's the limit. I mean, hey, big timer, huh? Just playing, y'all. So y'all have a good one, man. I've been your host of the most, Jordan Kitchens. I'm signing out. Peace.